Hey, welcome back. Another day, another vlog. Friday session, end of the week. Party time. Hope you had a good week and not too bad, and you're not in Victoria where you get locked down again because of some silly people. That's unfortunate. Yeah, not good. My sister's living in Melbourne, and yeah, she was just about to go back to work to her job, and now she has to go back and clean all the streets again until her job can open up again. So yeah, not good for her. Stuck at home. Some silly decisions made by some people that, frankly, probably just didn't give a crap about anyone else other than themselves, which is not a good. It's pretty common nowadays, actually. I think in modern society that it's all for yourself and stuff for everyone else, and yeah, it's a bit of a shame, especially with everyone's had to go through all this rubbish that we've gone through for the last few months, and to have to go back to it would be pretty darn painful, because I know I'm well and truly over it, and I'm sure everyone else on the planet's over the crap. So the sooner we try and get this stuff fixed and finished, we're just going to suffer together. There's not much we can do about it. So a bit of a shame. Hopefully they can isolate those people and give the people that have done the right thing a bit of freedom, because they do deserve it, definitely. Now, started a new video. It's again not a photography. I've got a few unboxings and ones I want to get out the way. I want to smash them over this weekend. Obviously, it's Friday, it's the last show of the week. So Saturday, Sunday, I'm going to try and smash out as many of the unboxing ones I've got, and some other ones I want to get out the way, and then get back into some of the other photo journey ones. So I've got them. I started on my MacBook 16 one, so I've got that. That's halfway done. I should finish that tonight. So it should be at least maybe a video tomorrow or possibly tonight, because the computer's bloody good and it makes a massive difference to my workflow. So hopefully I can get that smashed out for you tonight, and then I can try and smash out a few others this weekend. So there's a heap. I have a heap to do, so I'm trying to bust my butt. I'm not going out shooting this week. I was going to go out if there's rain, but there's no rain scheduled for here. So the waterfalls and stuff I want to get photos of are pretty much all dry, so it's nothing new. And I've already got a video on the one I want that without water, so it's really, yeah. Anyway, we'll get there. So going pretty well with that. I'm reasonably happy where we are. I'm sort of back on track with that video the other day on the Lumix, so that was pretty good. And once I get some of these others under the way and out of the way, I should be sort of back to semi sort of normal maybe mid next week once I go to shift change. So looking good in that regards. Other than that, yeah, quiet day, not too bad. Couple of silly things, but just normal day in mining. Hope you've had a decent Friday and work wasn't too crazy and busy for you, and you are ready to have a glass of red for me, because I can't. And yeah, kick back and enjoy a couple of days with your family if you're stuck at home wherever you are. Yeah, well, hopefully you can get it out to do some exercise and get a bit of fresh air and see some things. And if you're a photographer like myself, hopefully you can get out and take some photos of some stuff other than four walls around you, or whatever other little projects you've been trying to get done. So fingers crossed. Yeah, thinking of you all. That's what we do in the mine site. We're all stuck here. This is our job, to get stuck in a little box. So yeah, I do feel your pain. Huawei. Wow. I always get that wrong. I hope I haven't said it wrong. Huawei. There's a patent now for Huawei, and it's a pretty funky new phone. Now the patent goes back to 2019, and I guess the thing that offsets it is there's no buttons, there's no camera. So the cameras are under display camera, which a lot of the phone companies have been trying to get sorted. As well as that, where your buttons sit on the side of your phone, just borrow my iPhone here, so where you've got your buttons, so my home button here on the iPhone, and then your like volume buttons and stuff like that. So on this patent, it shows the screen is a full screen, no camera, no notch, no nothing, and then on the sides here, about that much of a section on both sides. So where your normal function buttons of, I guess, of whatever description are, the screen wraps around, so you get a waterfall screen across the whole edge. So obviously everything's touch screen, no buttons, all touch screen, and then obviously having that meat there gives you somewhere to hold, so you're not constantly touching it and turning it on and off or volume up and down constantly all day to smash your battery. So it'll be interesting to see. Now that was 2019 that came out. It'd be pretty interesting. It's a different sort of technology. Obviously it's just a patent, it's just a rumour, but obviously with the patent in there, they will obviously developing it and might be close to coming out. So I guess it's more looking so that down the track we're going to lose the notches, the pinhole, the cutouts, the buttons. All these manufacturers are looking for ways to basically make it one solid piece of glass, which I guess goes back to I guess like Star Trek and the Minority Report and all those where it was like that. So I think they're trying to get there, and I think they're probably not far away. So it does make things a little interesting and something to think about down the road. So Huawei really pushing the forefront, and they've got that patent in there, so no one else can do that in that regard. So it'll be interesting to see what the other guys have got. I'm sure they'll have something of a similar sort of frame. Patent's a very specific thing, and you can definitely get around stuff by just doing a few different things. So it'll be very interesting what we do get out of that. Now the iMac 27-inch. Rumours today from boys at Max Tech saying that we could possibly see a Mac released in the next month. Now there was plenty of talk about all these hardware releases at the Apple WWDC, and that just turned into just a software release and pretty much a waste of time. Really nothing in there sort of hardware or tech related or phones or laptops or iPads or nothing. They've had pretty much no new gear for the whole year for Apple. I think the Mac Mini, they were saying today, they put a bigger memory in it. Whoopie-doo. The 16-inch, they put that new graphics card in. Yeah, it's a great graphics card, but like they didn't change the computer. It's nothing new to the computer. And why would you? I mean, it's bloody perfect as far as I'm concerned. So yeah, they haven't had anything there. Now this could be the last Intel-based iMac. The rumours obviously were, and Tim said it at the WWDC, terrible name, that we're going to see some sort of Mac or computer this year with those ARM chips in there. Whether that's going to be a Mac at the end of the year, or we're going to get this Mac as the Intel, and then next year they'll go ARM, and then at the end of this year, I'd say you might get like an iPad or a MacBook Air, or something small that's more suited and easily swapped over to those ARM chips and better power ratio, I guess. So I think it's possibly, it might be a true one. The specs they're looking at is obviously they'll get rid of that stupid Fusion drive. It'll have to be a super fast SSD with a ton of storage. If you can get 8 gig of storage, SSD storage in your MacBook Pro, your actual iMac, you would assume is going to have at least 8 to, if not 10 options, 10 terabytes of SSD as an option, at least you think, with the size of it. I guess the biggest thing, I'm sure they're going to upgrade all the specs. It'll be bigger graphics cards and all that sort of stuff. We know they'll do that. Why would you bring something out that's nothing new except maybe epoxy processor that really doesn't make a change? The big thing will be the screen. Now the screens I've been talking about are going sort of very iPad-ish, that square, back to the old school square frame, basically a thin screen. So I think that will be the biggest physical change we may see in it, and it'll be interesting to see if it does come out at the end of this month or in July sometime. So very interesting to see how we go. Excuse me, got to get me Legion energy in. Rightio, now bit of an interesting one. I'll stay in the tech first. Adobe Flash. Us older people, I guess, old farts, would remember Adobe Flash probably a lot more than the younger generation. That's getting phased out at the end of this year. There will be no more Adobe Flash. Now they're saying it could be a couple of 100,000 websites are going to be directly affected by this and will no longer work due to Adobe Flash. I still get Adobe Flash. I think I was a month ago I had to re-upload another Adobe Flash version to get something to work. So it's going to be pretty bloody interesting to see how many do crash once this happens in December. I think that's when they're looking at it. Adobe is shutting it down for good. So yeah, if you use something that uses Adobe Flash Player, please make sure you prepare for the worst. If it's something you need to save or get out or whatever you need that actually use it, you're going to have to get it before December. So it gives you 6 months. You get plenty of time. But I thought I'd just let you know it's a bit of a, again, change is always happening, and this is one of those changes that's just got to be. It's too draws too much power, they're saying, and just a pain in the butt for developers and computer people. So it'll be another one that's gone and dusted that we'll, I guess, just remember about from our use. So yeah, Adobe Flash gone by December. Last but not least, a little bit of fun one. Uni in Nottingham in England, some scientists there have gone through and basically narrowed it down to, in our Milky Way, so all my photos you see with the Milky Way galaxy in that beautiful big band that we live in this galaxy, which is just amazing, and billions and billions and billions of planets. They've worked out the mass, and there's basically at least a bare minimum of 36 intelligent alien species living just in this Milky Way galaxy. So for all those that think we're not alone, we're actually pretty darn close to some neighbours. If you look out in the sky on a clear night, you probably can see 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 neighbours' planets up there twinkling away in the night sky. So just think next time you have a look up there and you're having a beer or a bong or a shot or whatever, just think that someone up there may be looking back down at you. I guess you see that a lot in the movies about people looking at the moon, and then like a family looking at the moon from the other side of the planet. Well, that same thing, I guess you sort of got to think that someone or a different form of species to us, evolved, intelligent, is over on one of those little white dots looking at us, and I think that's pretty cool. A little bit scary because we don't know, they might be really nice people, not like us who trash the joint, but it'll be interesting to see what that's like. I think I'm going to be well and truly fertilizer before that happens, but yeah, I think that's pretty cool. Something to think about. 36 alien species confirmed as a minimum that could be there. They're saying it could be hundreds, but at least 36. They can pretty much confirm now with the latest studies. So I thought that was a good way to end the week. Little trinket of something to think about, to get your brain thinking, to think about other things, how everything's not that bad. It could be worse, could be better, but we're all here. We're all friends, and I hope you all have an enjoyable couple of days off. If you are getting a couple of days off, if you have to work half a day tomorrow, my apologies. But yeah, anyway, have a safe weekend. Have a drink with your family. Call your friends. Call everyone. And we'll see you all again Monday with some more news. Rightio, thanks for stopping by, and I'll see you all on Monday. Right, where are we going? That way? That way? Or that way? I'll see you soon.